Okay, we've made it to the main event. That was a lot of opening acts.
Grand finale.
Now, you may have heard that Polkadot has been designated the greenest blockchain by many third-party organizations, but that is not quite far enough for us. So we have Adam Carver here to talk about his project, and they're looking to connect the Polkadot block space with ESG and green energy.
Let's do it.
Adam, welcome.
Hey man, thanks a bunch.
Big round of applause for Adam.
You know, it's funny, I flew out to San Francisco to give a presentation on Tuesday at Berkeley, and I'm speaking here today, and on both occasions, I'm following Chris Lee. You were there. It's hilarious. So I'm Adam, I'm the CEO of BitGreen. We're a Parachain project on Polkadot. We just won Polkadot Parachain auction number 29. So we'll be the 30th team. Yeah, it was amazing. And they gave me a speaking slot here today to talk about greening the Polkadot ecosystem. But I was told no slides. So instead, we're gonna riff a little bit and just hopefully have fun over the next 10 minutes or so. So let's do something really fun. For a moment, I'm gonna say the word sustainability, and what image comes to mind for you? Probably the Amazon, monkeys, trees, recycling, emissions, Al Gore, right? Some of the typical imagery. What's that? Man, bear, pig? Right. What is the fastest growing sector in the food industry? Organic food. The market size was $280 billion last year. Which blockchain team is working on the app that is actually doing traceability and provenance for organic and natural foods throughout the food supply chain? Nobody. EVs, electric vehicles, were $280 billion in sales last year, are going to cross projected $1.5 trillion at the end of this decade. Did you know that last year, you can now take a tax deduction or receive carbon credits whenever you plug in your EV and charge your electric car? Where's the blockchain team that's tracing that transaction and then immediately providing you with a tokenized carbon credit? Nobody. How about plastic recycling? No more boring industry than you like dropping off your bundle of Coke bottles, right, to a plastic recycling center, having them like wash those plastic recycling bottles, chop them up into little itty bitty bits, and then deliver it back to Dow Chemical so that Dow Chemical can make more Coca-Cola bottles. Guess what? That industry, $40 billion. Where's the blockchain team that's building a coin that is a revenue share for people who are donating their plastic and giving that product to the recycling center? The recycling center's profit margin is 80 to 85% of that $4 billion. What's their bottleneck? Level of donations from people like us who throw their bottles away to be incinerated or end up at the bottom of the ocean. Last quick story here, or last example of how sustainability is applied to more than just saving the Amazon. Weight Watchers, right? What do you think the revenue of Weight Watchers was in 2020? Chris Lee?
500 million?
Almost, but that was a good guess. 1.4 billion. Weight Watchers, right? Weight Watchers is a game. It's a health and wellness game. You eat a banana, they give you 1 point. You're permitted to eat 15 points per day. Thank you for your $30 per month, right? $1.4 billion. It's just a simple game. It's a rule-based game that people play with social accountability, and they really change people's lives. Where are the blockchain-based teams that are building these type of games for health and wellness? Your physical health and wellness, emotional, mental, whatever. that are helping people improve and upscale and up-level their lives. I haven't heard of one. But if we begin to build products that not only save the monkeys or the dolphins or reduce carbon emission, but products like Weight Watchers or habit trackers or doing provenance and traceability for organic and natural foods, you will change people's lives. You will help them confront their challenges related to diabetes, smoking, obesity, help them develop better habits that improve their lifestyle, make them feel better about themselves. And when you change people's lives that deeply, they will remember your product. That will be your user and your customer for life. That's the opportunity that we have as blockchain entrepreneurs. It's the opportunity that this Polkadot ecosystem has because we have application-specific blockchains. We have cross-chain messaging, meaning that we can be sending messages, transactions, and information securely and non-corruptibly amongst our different blockchains. We can scale and experiment in ways that other blockchains aren't capable of doing. What it requires is a focus and an inspiration that comes from within our network that sets a priority toward sustainability. And whenever you think of that word or corporate ESG, it means something when you actually change people's lives and their communities. These are some of the real-world applications that people can touch and that are tactile and that they're going to talk about at parties. I don't know how much time I have because I actually have no slides, but I'll tell you one or two quick stories. I was at a dinner party in New York where I live, like 9 months ago. This is before BitGreen had anything. I was at this dinner party and I started talking to this girl like over the carrots and hummus table. And in New York, when you meet someone, what's the first question they ask? What do you do? So she asked what I do, and I said, I'm in tech. And she said, oh, tell me a little bit more, I'm so interested. And I responded, I have this company, but I really didn't want to talk about it. And then she's like, no, she's prying. So I said, I'm in blockchain. And she said, I don't know anything about blockchain. And I thought, great, dodged that bullet. Then she said, no, try me. Maybe I've heard of your company. I said, no, you haven't. We haven't launched. We barely raised money. I don't even have my website just says BitGreen. No, I didn't say that. But I was like, I just have a website. There's nothing on there. She goes, try me. I get around. I know a lot of companies. So I said, I have a company and its name is BitGreen. And she goes, definitely, BitGreen. I know you. Really? She's like, no, I don't know you, but I got you. You're like Bitcoin, but you're good. It shows you how some ideas resonate and can touch people on a deeply personal level. She knows nothing about blockchain, but you know what? I'm going to place my bet that BitGreen is going to be one of her first crypto purchases. She's going to onboard with BitGreen and therefore onboard into the Polkadot and Kusama networks, and she's going to stay there because she's not interested in traveling and bridging, right, to other networks. She's going to go to the brand and the network that aligns with who she identifies with in the mirror. That is the greater opportunity that we have at Polkadot. It's not just about doing less bad. We emit some carbon, we use electricity, we're going to offset that with crypto or tokenized carbon credits, right? There's a difference when we're talking about sustainability and improving ourselves and creating a better world. One piece of that is doing less bad, but far greater is the potential to do more good. It's kind of like trying to get richer by not ordering as many $5 lattes at Starbucks, right? You can only save enough money and you're gonna make yourself miserable by sweating the latte. Way better for you to take your focus, your capability, and your potential and think about like, how do I grow my top line income every year? You can do that 10x. You can increase your income by 50% per year. There's only like so many lattes that you can avoid buying. Last story here. But you guys, you feel me on this? You understand? It's not just about, we're gonna do carbon offsets, because you know what? The Polkadot and Kusama ecosystems are gonna do carbon offsets. BitGreen's working on that with a few other teams, and it's an awesome product. We're going to roll that out sometime later this year or in early January. And that's going to get some press, and we're going to feel really good about it. And we'll build some other like basic products for the ecosystem related to green and sustainability. But the real sustainability, the real objective that we should be aiming for is how do we 10x every year the good that we're doing with our teams and our talent. And that's how we're going to connect emotionally with that girl who I talked to over the carrot plate who said, oh yeah, I totally got you. You're like Bitcoin, but you're good. Last quick story here, because it's a good one. So BitGreen does a lot of things, but one of them is that we're going to be providing institutional grade financial markets for originating like green debt for renewable energy projects, microfinance lending, EV charging stations. So about 6 months ago, again, BitGreen like had nothing, not even a website. I get an email from someone who works at the Rockefeller Foundation, right? And he said, I found your company online and I want to talk. So I get on the phone and I was like, how do you even find me? Like, we have no press. We haven't announced that we raised money. We have no website. And he goes, well, we've been talking about doing our philanthropic donations and investing using a blockchain. It's an idea that we had. So I was tasked with going out and finding the company that can help us do this, accomplish this goal. So I said, where'd you go? He goes, well, I went to the only place I could. I went to Google. And I typed in green cryptocurrency. And it came back with a list of names, and I didn't recognize any of them. And some of these names I couldn't even spell. But then I saw the name BitGreen, and it sounded a lot like what I want to do. That's the challenge in many ways that we have as Polkadot, as a community, is like how do we develop a brand and an ecosystem and a product that when a normal person out on the street or somebody who works for the Bezos Earth Fund wants to choose an ecosystem on which to build or to invest, how do we give them that experience of when they see our name, Polkadot, or they hold our coin, they think to themselves, like, this is who I am, and this is what I want to do. Thanks a bunch. Peace.